I'm shooting a video on the Candy Connect updates. Only updates because the inner workings are the same, with the exception that if you look around in the events area, maybe I'll have to hide this thing here. So if you look around in the events area, you're not seeing anything associated with Candy Connect. Last time what happened was there was Valentine's Day, I think, and for that you got 4 extra candy packs. This time the only thing you can get is one single purchase of 4 packs. By the end of the 5 or so days that the event is running, you can expect to have in total 20 free packs, and now you're not getting the other 20 free packs, and you can purchase up to 80 of these packs, giving you a total of 100. There are also daily monetary purchases, which are actually somewhat better than they used to be, which is a bit strange as well. It seems like that the tripwire effect is going on, because you will see that most of the things still have relatively insane value, 70 to 80% discount. Now, if you purchase these things, I will show you how to play in general, so I will purchase just 2. It pays off, by the way, despite that the event got somewhat worse. What you need to do is select your favorite, whichever it is, and then you do a start. And in the start you select 20. 20 is optimal. Just watch my previous video about that. And the rest, as I said in the previous video, there is no skill element in there, which means that you just go unwrap and you keep on unwrapping. This was a good sequence, but unfortunately it became bad at the end. And you don't even need to know the rules much. It's just you get points, okay? And you just need to click. Oh, this was horrible. Anyway, you just need to click a lot. To get to the end, because you always get more packs. Still 16 packs are remaining, by the way, because you earn more packs as you use packs when they are consumed. And eventually, once you finish, and this will be a long one, I mean, Monkey Mind Entertainment in general, that's why I'm not a big fan of this event, by the way, that clicking this so many times, I mean, why do I need to see this? I mean, I'm happy if my pack amount increases, it keeps on increasing, but still, why do I need to see this? And eventually you get some end result at some point in time. We will soon talk about the numbers as well. You just see a relatively lucky, well, or semi-lucky 20-year pool. That's what you will need to do. I would prefer if this could be automated somehow. I'm sure a lot of, well, a relatively high amount of effort went into this, because this is a 2025 game, but why do I need to see this? Anyway, I will soon get to the end. And then we will get some points and we'll be able to use those points. Relatively soon. And then we'll secure our 80 points. Now, the fact that I'm somewhat lucky at the moment, it also may mean that you're more incentivized to play just in case you could repeat my luck, right? But then the question is if you're gonna be just as lucky or not. And for most of you, it's possible that you won't be that lucky. Now, we're done. 62 and 16 out of it was lucky. You see that in the leaderboard, there are some with 86, 70, so this is not this server, but overall. And then you go to the shop and you see that basically half of it is, or almost half of the hero armor purchase is basically ready. Let's see how this whole thing is working. This time you don't have a login reward anymore, so forget this. you just have 100 in total, 100 packs, plus if you want paid offers, then you do paid offers. I mean, this is a tripwire basically. Not that insane of a value, but if you think about it, for $5 you're gonna get something along the lines of 40 packs, so 40 more packs, which is like 2 times 20, and 40 packs is like 2000 diamonds worth of stuff. So one purchase is basically 400 diamonds worth. This is one of the better offers that are out there for events. And then if you multiply this 400 diamonds worth of stuff on the discounts that you get, sometimes 68%, sometimes 70-80%, then you basically multiply it by 5 and you get up to 2000 diamond offers at times. So that's how the event is running. So the free stuff is reduced to 100, and the discounts also got reduced. And you see that this was February, this is like before, and this is after. So before it was 100, now it's 150. Before this was a 90, now this thing is better, but it's 135. So instead of the other armor, you got the better armor. And also these became 60. I'm gonna delete the before after because this is more up to date. So now you can see that it got worse, but despite that it got worse, the discount on the hero armor is still 68%, and if you don't have it +3 yet, then maybe it's time to do so, and maybe it's time to collect this. So this is one of the things out of many that are recommended. Then type selection, tarot, it's always important to select type and not faction. The value is 1276, it's somewhat discounted, I don't know by how much. A new item is the Union Tarot Selection, which is basically not as scarce as it used to be, because if you did limited time cumulative spending, you would get 2 after, I think, 30,000 spend. So this is quite low, and 2553 diamonds, about 50% discount, because 5000 is the original value. Then you have the DH Champion and Commander. One change is that this doesn't only contain the first 5, but the first 15, so A, B, and C tokens. And this is better utility, but the prices got increased from 20 to 30. And then you have champions and commanders. Now here champion is 67% of the DH, but you know that this is like you get 1 unit for 1 covenant, and here you get 1.5 units for 1 covenant. So essentially it yields the same 70% discount. Discount is really good, by the way, in here as well. And commander token, that's by far the best discount, but the problem is that by now maybe you don't even need those commanders, maybe not even in the backup formation in case of most commanders. So you may just skip on these. So this is the thing, the prices got increased somewhat, up to 50%. So in the before after you see that the discounts got somewhat worse, but it's not that bad. Now here is the same thing. Once again, instead of 5, now the adamants are 8. Instead of 2500 void materials cost like 30, and instead of 20 you have 25 for divination vouchers, and instead of 25 for TH permits, now you got 30. And Dreamcatcher is new. Back in February we didn't have this. So this is the new thing. You still have 83% discount for Eternity Adamants, because it's like usual price is 1000. Unfortunately now we're going into Divine Herald weapon territory, so Eternity Adamant will be the new Void Mithril one day. And by the way, you still need Void Mithril even today because of the Star Soul Awakening, and when you enclose an SSR unit in a champion, for example, for Miracle Pursuit level 6, then you might be better off, because you can. I think the last star of the Star Soul requires the weapon of the SSR to be upgraded, and there you need a lot of Void Mithril. Plus Vidomina tends to multiply it at least twice a year, if not more. So we have these, plus Divination Voucher, plus Treasure Hunt Permit, plus Dream Catchers. Okay, so I'm not carried away by these prices, because first of all there is no cumulative spending on top of this, and if you're not buying the 70 something Divination Voucher, 85 Treasure Hunt Permit, 1 per day from Wednesday to Saturday, as well as the Dream Catchers, and you're not shopping for the discounted items whatever you have on a given week, in that case why would you shop here? There is no incentive to do so. New item that didn't happen before is this red holy emblem thing. 574 diamonds is the value in here, which gives you more than a 70% discount with respect to the 2100 value. It's like 1.5 times an orange emblem in terms of value, but in terms of scarcity, it's more scarce because you will need, I think, 7 of the same type to be the most effective. And to get 7, it's quite difficult because you get, I think, 4 after 20, and then you need like after every 10th, you get like a 5th one, 6th one, 7th one. So you need quite a lot of these boxes. Plus, it's a Vidomina item. Traditionally, this is also a Vidomina item. That's why I told you that it may be worth getting based on scarcity. Just based on utility, good question, because, well, it's after all just treasure hunts. By the way, here is the shop. I didn't mention some of the items. Oh, and by the way, this same clicking glitch is there, that you need to move the scroll bar out. This is bad UX, but anyway. So you don't want Star Souls, you don't want Gamecasters, you don't want regular orange ones. It's not even a discount that much. You don't want Abyss tickets, you don't want orange emblems, the premium artifacts, you don't want any of these. Maybe if you have like a leftover 1, 2, 3, then this is like the Home Alone type of thing, like keep the change, you filthy animal. You know, from the Home Alone one when Kevin ordered pizza. Basically, that's the keep the change. You get a Universal Hero token in exchange, you get a casting crystal in exchange or something. When you really cannot buy anything of higher value, that's when you do this. But as soon as you have at least 10, then you take at least the commander token and maybe you collect some more commanders or whatever for your third team or something. So that's the idea. And this is unfortunate for free to play. This is a bit fortunate for pay to win, obviously, as usual. So expect tripwire offers because, you know, the game wants to convert more people from free to play to like paid customers. And as soon as you have the paid customer thing activated, then you think of yourself more as a spender, and then you will spend more. This is the idea in general, right? It's not a secret. This is how most marketing works, not only in gacha games but also elsewhere. So that's why these offers started happening, because of monetization. Back in the days in February, I made some research, which one should be the favorite, which one shouldn't be the favorite, and I made some calculations accordingly. And I think this one is the green one that came up, but I didn't do anything. I just don't have time for this type of thing. You saw that in the last one we had 16 out of 62, if I remember correctly, which means that our fair share is higher with 16 out of, it's more than 20%. 16 divided by, 62 is 25%. The fair share is supposed to be 20%. Our fair share should have been 62 multiplied by 0.2, which is 12.4. So with respect to that, I got lucky in here. I'm not sure if there is some hard-coded weights in terms of what the probability is for a given lucky coin, but this has served me quite well. So Lime in the past. It doesn't mean you have to do the same, and it doesn't mean that next time it's gonna serve me well, because I have no new sample size on it and I won't do it this time. Now here it's almost always 20 is the winner. Better to wait for 20, reasoning more options. Is it true, or is it harder to use like the 19th or 20th? That's a good question, right? And then basically I solved this problem back in the days with basically a reasoning that if you go from 2 candies to 1 candy, it's like 0.20, the probabilities. Basically I discovered all the probabilities, and then I created, thanks to statskingdom.com/Markov chain calculator, I figured out from my queuing studies back from the university that this is nothing else but a Markov chain. And I added the probabilities in the Markov chain transition matrix, which I've learned how to do back in the days like 20 years ago, and somehow it just clicked. I'm not working in this field or anything, it just clicked from 20 years ago. Don't ask me how or why. Maybe I just don't eat that much sugar and my brain is not that foggy. Maybe that's why, who knows. Now we have this Markov chain calculator in here. And we figured out that the Markov chain becomes stable after 12 transitions, which means that if you do even an 8 game, you may wander out of this 12 transition once you become stable, and if you have the 13 game, it's definitely gonna be stable at the end. You see, that's the stability, and here basically your objective is to go as high as possible in general, and the probability of a clash is basically calculated here with basically in a way that we're not going to the right anymore, but we're just gonna clash. And I figured out that in the stable chain, this is the probability of a clash, but already after stage 4, basically it can be ignored more or less, a few percentages here and there, even after stage 3. You could argue that stage 1, stage 2, and the first step, the probability of a clash is really low, but afterwards it's really high. So eventually, as I calculated this thanks to some JavaScript, you can watch my previous video from February if you're interested in the inner working. I've drawn the following conclusions. So we start with 20 packs, plus 1 pack, and so on. So these are the rules. And we got basically a mean of 47.15. In the demo, I got 62 because I got a bit lucky, it seems. And basically doing 20 is better than doing 13 because this thing here is more significant than, especially in the first 2 steps. So step 1, step 2, after step 0 and after step 1. This difference is so much more than what is in here that you would prefer staying away from it, and you would prefer like staying in this territory all the time with like 36%, 35.4 or whatever. And in the stable chain you get this consistently. So there is no big increment, no big upside to run anything lower because the absolute best that you can get is 36%. And in the stable chain you already get 35.4%. So you're better off just avoiding the beginning. That's the idea with the Markov chain running. And then you can see the rest. The probabilities are quite okay. The discounts are really good. So even if there is no cumulative spending event, I will consider purchasing all the diamond packs. Now, depending on your goals about the game in general and the long run, if you're a spender, then you know that basically this offer right here, no, not here, where is it? This offer and the candy purchase, this $1 or euro or whatever offer, there is one per day obviously. This is very much like a Growth Fund 1 or Growth Fund 2. Nothing better because you would need significantly more discount than that for making it more effective. Because 8 candy packs, it's very much like a 400 diamond value if there was no discount on it. But if you apply the 80% discount on 400, which means that basically 20% of the value is 400 diamonds, then 100% of the value, you know, ratio pairs, is gonna be 2000 diamonds. So this is a 2000 diamonds per euro purchase. It's just like a Growth Fund 1. As I said, nothing fancy. It's a tripwire because it doesn't happen every single day, but only if you take the right discounts. If you don't, in that case, it's not even special. So don't think about missing out on this. So if you've played for a year, you have accumulated millions and millions and millions diamonds worth of stuff. And just 2000 more or less, it won't really matter at this stage. You won't be able to buy your way out of, let's say, your position just with these purchases. You will need to go for something completely different. And I mean, that completely different is not even the discounted 3.5 generational heroes, which is lower than usual, 20% lower. For those countries without value-added tax or sales tax, you have $80, I guess. Here we have 95 because, you know, you have to feed the sales tax into the authorities so that we get that amazing infrastructure that we have right now. Okay, so this is what you have right now, and the rest of the offers are nothing special really, once again. So you want to look for things that are really scarce, and here I'm not seeing anything really scarce. So for this reason, I don't recommend this. if you purchase a hero, don't purchase these heroes. It just doesn't make any sense. You might want to go for those heroes that are right there somewhere here. So yeah, those 4 heroes that are out here. This is one, this is one, this is one, and this is the 4th one. And you will have a relatively easy next 3 to 5 months until this tech, so these heroes, become outdated, and then 5 new heroes will appear sometime in the future. So this is the idea. If you badly want to experience what it is like to have something that you can only pay for and you cannot earn in the game in any other ways, then go for it. It will set you back at least $100. So it's not something that you will get that easily. But after all, this is a subscription. So that's the idea. With the event itself is not bad. It became worse than it used to be, but it's still generally recommended, especially because of the hero armor. Now, if I purchase all 4 or all 8 times 10 candy packs or less, I think I will do at least 7, and then we will see how much currency I have, or maybe at least 6. At least 6, because then afterwards the 7th and 8th I can decide afterwards. And generally I don't recommend the paid packs as much. It's one of the best, basically $1 paid packs that you have seen so far, but it won't change anything on a 10+ weeks old account. Like really anything. You can get everything just for diamonds. It's not a game changer at the moment. This is the analysis of this event.